What's going on, everyone? ODC here, and I'm back with another action figure review. Today's review, we're going to continue our Mythic Legion's Advent of Decay action figure series. This is Jjuno. Jjuno the Crusher, to be exact. She's a pretty cool figure. I really like the head sculpt on her. I like the usage of parts. She looks really cool. Like I said, I love the head sculpt on her. It is her head sculpt. This is the first release that we've seen for this head sculpt, and it is very special to her character. This is pretty much everything she comes with, except for the 3 back adapters, which every figure comes with in this line. They all come with the same 3 back adapters. I do want to note that the 1 back adapter, the smaller one, the one with the smaller holes, actually can be used for an extra arms back adapter. Here is the difference in the 3. You have the larger back adapter. These are for the wings. And then you have the smaller back adapter. Now you can actually plug in some arms here and almost give off the illusion when it's plugged into the back. If you plug in 2 extra arms right there from somebody, it'll actually give off the illusion that they have maybe 4 arms instead of just 2. So you could go that route if you wanted to maybe change up a character into something like that. She looks really great. I really like the design for her. She looks very Conan the Barbarian-esque. She does come with a Warhammer, which is painted differently, and she also comes with this axe that we've seen, this battle axe right here that we've seen in the first wave that came with all of the flags. And then she comes with a regular sword, I'll just call it. I won't even call it a short sword. But I really like her color scheme. I might actually consider picking up 1 more of these just to maybe turn that into another character. I don't know. I'm still kind of deciding if I want to double down on some of these characters. It would be nice to actually either have, whether it's a backup or whether to have turn it into another character, which is probably the route that I would go. But she looks really great. Like I said, I love this head sculpt. It looks absolutely beautiful, and I just kind of want you guys to just take this in for a second here. The shoulder armor works so well. She's got a little bit of let me just pull her in here. She does have a little bit of like a rust look to her. There's a little bit of like black shading going throughout, and then almost like a little bit of like a rust paint going throughout the shoulder armor, so it's not just a very nice looking shiny silver. Over here we have the same type of paint apps for the brassiere, the chesticles over there, the chest armor. Down here it continues onto this little design right here on her crotch piece, and then we have this kind of barbarian-esque little crotch covering right there, and it continues onto the back, which looks really good. I like the sculpting that continues right here. I kind of have her all geared up here. She's got her Warhammer and everything, but the sculpt looks really good there. She does have kind of the, I guess, I don't know what you would call this, the hipster, one side shaved head, half shaved head look, the hipster shaved head female look. I don't know what you want to call that, but she looks really cool. Nonetheless, I like the almost, I don't know if this is war paint or considered a tattoo, but I think it looks really good. Nonetheless, the design looks pretty cool. Like I said, it's very unique for this character. I like the little sculpted earring right there on the head. We've got this kind of like awesome Becky Lynch style braid we've got going on here. And we've got some little, I guess, braids right here going throughout. It looks really cool. I like how everything is painted a different color here. We've got kind of like a red, a green, a gold, a silver, and a little bit of like a copper, and then a gold on the upper part of the braid. That looks really good. I like that a lot. I like that we have a braid on one side, and then it kind of swoops over on this side, and it kind of covers her face almost pretty much on the other side. I think it looks really good. I'm very pleased with this head sculpt. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. Looks gorgeous. Let me just get this in here, and let me try and focus a little bit better here so I'm not shaking the figure all over the place. But yeah, she looks gorgeous, man. I'm really pleased with how this head sculpt turned out, excuse me. I think everything that was chosen for her as far as armor pieces go, I think it makes a ton of sense for her. As a former member of Atlas's Wasteland army, Jjuno the Crusher is no stranger to staring into the face of adversity. When she was a young child, her family joined with Atlas the Conqueror and his band of outsiders. When her parents were killed in a skirmish with Scapular and his Sons of the Red Star, Jjuno blamed Atlas. Although Atlas tried to care for her after the loss of her parents, Jjuno left his army in search of a new home for her hatred and anger. It was only after Gorgo pulled her from an evil horde of skeleton soldiers that Jjuno found her new family, the Legion of Arthier. You know, I don't know. Her parents were murdered by Scapular. Obviously, Scapular and the Red Suns are very efficient as far as taking people out, killing them, assassinating them, causing chaos. So I don't know really what would be the motive there. A little bit of ignorance on her part, the character's part, blaming Atlas for Scapular killing her parents doesn't make a whole lot of logical sense there, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. I might actually, this might be one of the few characters where I don't go by her backstory, and I might actually put her with Atlas's Wasteland army, as opposed to putting her with Gorgo, which granted Gorgo did save her, but obviously there's supposed to be more backstory to it than that. But who's to say that Gorgo didn't hire Scapular to kill her parents? So at the end game, it's really it's probably Gorgo at the end. That's what would be my assumption. But I don't know. It's up for debate. I think this is maybe one of the weaker backstories. Some people might disagree and be like, no, it's a great backstory. But, it's kind of, I don't know. There's not a whole lot of logic coming out of this character. Why would you blame a guy that had nothing to do with your parents' death and tried to help you, as opposed to, I don't know. I never dug those kind of backstories. I know that they've been done numerous times in comics, especially with, Batman's, a couple of Batman's villains where they blame Batman for a loss of death or something like that. But it never really resonated with me to make sense to blame someone that had nothing to do with somebody else's death or a loss or something like that. It just doesn't. I try to think logically, and it just doesn't logically make any sense. But anyway, I guess in life, not everyone lives by logic. So anyway, I digress. That's just my little 2 cents on her backstory. As far as Jjuno the Crusher's accessories do go, this is pretty much the major 3 that she comes with. She does come with 3 back adapters, 3 weapon accessories, 2 shoulder armor pieces, and a belt. So, that's all the accessories that she comes with. But really, the major accessories that she comes with are these 3. It's the battle axe, it's the warhammer, and it's the sword. Speaking of the battle axe, here it is. Looks really good. Very pleased with the sculpt on this. This was one of the few weapons that I actually didn't have a chance to get in Wave 1. It was I just didn't feel like have to get the entire flag pack just to get this battle axe here, or axe. But it's a beautiful sculpt. I really like the little bit of texturing going throughout this portion of the axe. I like the sculpted little designs going throughout. That looks really good. I'm very pleased on how they kind of gave off the sharpened blade look on this. Looks really good. I really like the charcoal color that they went with. And then we've got a wooden brown handle right here, which I think looks really nice. So pleased with that. And it does have some black paint shading going throughout the handle, which I think looks really good. And then over here with the Warhammer is pretty much like I guess I want to say like a bronze copper type color. I would say more of a bronze color than a copper. A copper has like a little bit of a tint to it usually. So I'd go with bronze here. And then we've got some silver paint for the studs going throughout. on the sides of the hammer, right up here, over here, on the other side, in the middle, on the handle portion. And really nice black paint shading going throughout the rest of this Warhammer. And then up next we have the sword. This is kind of very similar to all the other swords that we've seen prior. This is one of the swords from Wave 1. And it's the shorter version. It's not as of a broad sword, but it's not really a short sword either. It's kind of a regular, your atypical sword. So I think it looks pretty good. Nice gold for the handle there, and then the silver throughout the rest of the sword, and it does mirror the other side. Okay, and here we're here with Jjuno the Crusher's packaging. Pretty self-explanatory. There's the front, says Mythic Legions. Here's the back with the nice Art Deco on the back. Here is her clan symbol right there. On this side, here is a picture of Jjuno. And then there's the read-up. If you want to pause that and read it, go ahead. Okay, as far as Jjuno's articulation does go, her head can swivel at a full 360 rotation. You can get a full 360 rotation with that. Her head does look up about that far. It's pretty much at the neutral position as far as her head going up due to the sculpting of the hair on this one side and the back. So it kind of hinders the articulation going up. She can look down a little bit. Not the best range of motion there either. She does have a head tilt to the one side. The other side, the hair does get in the way. You might get a little bit of extra range of motion if you do have the shoulder pads off, or if you just have one shoulder pad on the one side and then this one taken off on the other. You might get a little bit extra range of motion due to the hair hitting that shoulder piece. But if it's off, you'll have better range of motion is what I'm trying to get at. The arms go up, and it popped out, which these tend to do sometimes. They do tend to pop out of their holes sometimes. But there you go. And the shoulder pad came off. But there is the full extension, the full range of motion in the arm. The arm is a little bit stiff. And there we go. Down, full 360 rotation in the arm. A single bend at the elbow, which is about 90 degrees. Swivel at the elbow as well. A swivel at the gauntlet. A swivel at the wrist. Hinge joint back and forth. She does have a diaphragm joint, which does go back nicely. She's got some of the best range of motion that I've seen in the ab section due to the... she doesn't have a whole lot going on as far as sculpting. But she does crunch forward nicely. And she can pivot side to side and swivel up top as well. You do get a little bit of a gappage issue there, but I don't really care about gapping too much. It's all about how you angle your lens for your photo op as to how to get that to work properly as far as the ab crunch. Waist swivel here, and then we have pretty much peg jointed hips here, but they're kind of the T-jointed style. They go out and forward and back, and she's got a little tush on the back sticking out, and an upper thigh swivel, which is hidden actually up top because it's a proper actual thigh swivel. So I love this thigh swivel. I love that how it's hidden, how it's used. I think they nailed that perfectly. A single jointed knee, beautifully done. And a knee swivel, ankle swivel. She points the heel and she points the toe, and she has ankle pivot, and she has 2 peg holes at the bottom of her feet. As far as Jjuno the Crusher's sculpt and paint applications go, I'm really pleased with the sculpt. I think it is very reminiscent to Atlas the Conqueror's, and how she's not asymmetrical. And she's got different armor on this side as opposed to armor on this side. I think that looks really cool. I like that aspect of it. I'm glad that she didn't come with full armor over here. You can always switch that up down the line if you would like her to have armor going on this side, like Atlas. But I think I'm going to leave her alone the way she is. I think she looks gorgeous just the way she is. Very powerful, beautiful at the same time. And definitely a huge threat to anyone that crosses her. I really like the gauntlet right here with the red rubies going throughout, the 3 red rubies, the smallest, middle, and then largest one. I really like the design on this gauntlet piece as well. Looks really good, just so well done. Love the shoulder armor. The breast armor looks really good. I love that the sculpt is continued onto the back. Love the little tunic here. I like that she's a little cheeky. She's a little bit cheeky on the back. And then her knee pads are sculpted and painted the same on both sides of her legs, excuse me. And the knee armor is the similar paint apps as this and her shoulder armor. So looks really cool. I like the charcoal gray for this gauntlet. Looks really good. The charcoal gray comes back on the shin armor, and the boots are a nice brown. Not a whole lot of paint shading going throughout, but the paint applications where they look really well done. And then the buckles are painted black, or the straps are painted black, and the buckles are painted gold. We got some red studs right here. Looks really good on the legs. Overall, just a really nice, different blend of colors overall with her. So I'm really happy with the way that she turned out. Okay, as far as size comparisons go, here is Jjuno stacked up against the NECA Keaton Batman and the DC Universe Classics Hawkman. Okay, next we have 2 Marvel Legends. We have the Hyperion body mold in Bishop on the right, and on the left we have the Bucky Cat body mold in Multiple Man. And lastly, we have a Motu Classics on the left in Vicor, and we have Sir Gideon Heavensbrand. Okay, so my overall thoughts on Jjuno the Crusher. I think she's fantastic. She's definitely one of my favorites in this wave, and maybe one of my favorites overall in the overall line. I think she's gorgeous. I love the flow to her. I really want to put her with my good guys. I just find myself wanting to do that. But at the end of the day, my verdict is going to be 2 thumbs up here. Definitely go get her. Like I said, this is another one of those characters I feel like if you pass on, you're going to be kicking yourself for down the line. And you'll be like, oh man, now there's no chance of me getting her. Or she's going to be one of those characters that are crazy expensive down the line, like $200, like Otho, super hard to find now. And I feel like she's going to kind of hold that gravitas as far as a lot of collectors wanting to have her be a key element of a part of their collection for Mythic Legion. So with that being said, I digress with how all my feelings on this, but this is definitely a recommend. And like I said, 2 thumbs up here. That's pretty much it for Jjuno the Crusher. Go get her while you still have a chance. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Hit the bell for notifications until you see 2 little parentheses hanging over the bell. Hit the like button. It's free to do. It helps my channel. If you like the content and you want to see more, the like button always helps. Leave a comment letting me know who is your favorite character that I've reviewed so far, and or who's your favorite character period in this wave. I'd be interested to hear on everyone's responses. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. Enjoy your Mythic Legions. Enjoy your action figures. Don't take them too seriously. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.